national education policy from the degree colleges. I hope you that the open elective subjects we are introduced to the from geographers, environmental science, and geology students. So those who are there opted on the science of the particularly geography, environmental science, and geology, we are all recommended. The topic is disaster management. So earlier, the open elective, environmental science, Constitution of India, these two papers are mandatory from all the courses of degree level. So the government of India, they recommended to one more topic should be as to introduce to all the science or the faculty from irrespective of the arts or anything else. This is the disaster management is the subject is the most important from everyone. So now I'm telling that the topic is landslide, types of the disasters, causes of landslide, and how to management of the disaster, the management cycle, and at present what are the landslides occur, and what are we take up the steps in the management of the landslides, how the pre or post disaster studies supposed we had to go there, and in the recent development in disaster management in India, and particularly landslide in India, they are in the cover of the Geological Survey of India. This is the very good branches in the government of India. They're going to assess wherever the landslides are occur. That is the details supposed to have to share with you, and how to measurement of this the landslide, how we have taken from the risk management mitigation studies. So that we have to go for one by one. Now, from before I'm going to this to the given information about the disaster, they stand for all these alphabetically. D stand for destructions on the particular areas or the environment or the morphology of the boundary or the area of the village. I stand for the incidents. S stand for sufferings. E stand for the financial failures or administrative failure. S stand for sentiments. Tragedy for the T. Communicable eruption from the stand of E. And stand of R, we are going to implement various program, particularly in the research activities. So these are all the stand for the disaster, particularly alphabetically. Now, when I had to go for these two, the introductions to the disaster. So etymologies mean the origin of a disaster word coming from the Greek. So now we are on the pronunciation of disaster. No, earlier the scientists they called us dust star. So dust means bad, aster means star, which means a bad star. Now day by day, year by year, so different countries their pronunciations from the French they follow, their pronunciation they went. Now overall in the entire globe, they call for the definition, they call for the word, they call for the prefix of the terminology of the disaster. It is everywhere in the common status. Now, when you give these two destructions or the disaster is a old word. From the first descriptions, the word should be has to come in the disaster management. So some of the word has to come from the Puranas, from the Mesopotamian stories, and many cultures. Now, from the people, from the global wise, this disaster management, they have gone to statistics, they studied in the present day, recent statistics. The death of this more than 300 million people collapsing his lifestyles. So much of economically losses from the nature. So more than 34 million people that are affected per year. There are more than 6,000 people are died due to various kinds of types of landslides. Now, from the disaster, I'm going to focusing on the landslide. So most of our friends in these participants, they know about the geographers. Geographer, they have to dealing with the science in these one students. They have own knowledge. But now, as I am a geology man, I am coming in the geological background about the subject of the landslide. So I think everyone they know see the landslide in the nature. So what is the meaning? What is the definition of landslide? So landslide is a moving from the point to the point due to the soil. The soil will be very weak, loose soil, or it may be if you have it together with the provinces of rock. The rock may be very strong, very hard, that will be stable. If the rocks are maybe very weaker, definitely will be moving from upper zones to the lower zones. And also another important thing is the various kinds of organic materials also they supported. Let's say physics law, they say that due to gravity action, the movement of the plates, the movement of the geomorphological feature, the movement of the the terrain of the morphology, we say the structure, also most important from the changes of landslide. So this is also we have. Hello, some of them please move down. Some of them, hey, move down. Hello, please. Some of them, they move this your phone. Hello. Hello, move down. Some of them discussing, please stop there. Mute your mobile. So when I had to go for the study from this to a landslide, it means their definition is the downward movement of the structures. The main parameters rule was anywhere in the landslide happen. This is the three very important parameters is the come across. One is the pedology. Pedology is study for the various types of the soil rule is most important. The area of the province of the geology rule also most important. It is that is called as a rock. And the area of the fauna flora also most important. That is comes under various root system, forest, plants, root system also penetrated. And divide the blocks. The blocks may be any amount of precipitation water supposed to has to gone inside the particular crevices or the cracks or the rock body, then easily they move from downwards. So this is the one kind of these problems happens in the land morphological area. So therefore, in addition with the loose, weaker structure, the vibration of the propagation waves along with the taking place, immediately the entire land mass also, they have to come up down. It will be breakage possibilities also there. Look at these figures now. So when they are in the top level, when they during this, the mass movement, it means during the rainy season, the rainy water supposed to has to fall from the surface itself. Then the waters are traveling from the one layer to other layer. It means water should be has to moving from higher level to the lower level. During this journey of the precipitation of rainy water, they can't infiltrated, seepages, percolation, and downward. Then if any crevices are there, weaker bodies are there, then along with the gravity of water, they have taken to all the rock mass, all the soil, and completely fall down from the beneath the bottom of the structures. So this will happen in regular system in anywhere in this hilly terrain area. This is one kind of journey from the landslide happened. Look at this figure. So this figure recently I have taken from the Madikeri, recently last 4 months ago, so from the Unsur to Madikeri, Kusalnagar area. So this belly, the entire land from the left side of the figure, the entire land mass has to collapse due to the weaker structure of the geology. So this will be, they have seen another figure. You can see the same figure across. We go for Madikeri in the Puttur road, in the Mangalore-Puttur road. So the problems happens during the main road system. So from the upper now rocks, heavy gravity of the rocks in the upper zone immediately collapse because the downwards, the soil resistance will be very weak. Then the upper portion of the rock completely collapse. Then the downwards rocks are fall down. Then the entire the portion of the structure of the lithology soil will be completely crack away and erosion away, and finally landslides are occur. Now there are the three distinct the natures happens in the landslide. One is initial stage, and then subsequent stage, and failure stage. So this is the three distinct activities that happen. So from the initial stage, because when I have frequently observed from the morphology of the any places, particularly in the downstream area, from the initial stages, if a soil, look at this figure of the diagram, if a soils are every year, most of the farmers, then those who are known from the surface erosion activity from the field agriculture land, if any heavy rain is supposed to fall on the land itself, the land of the morphology of the soils are erosion away. It means due to the mass of the precipitation rainy water, they have taken the particular water with the soil erosions. One season, 1 centimeter, 1 meter, 2 meter, 3 meter, number of meters they extended. As a geographer, as a social scientist, as a curiosity of this and on particular area, they observe frequently, yes, these places are some kind of changes happens in the morphology of the boundary. They frequently, that will be changes one season, another season. So this is the initial stages of the failure problem will be started. If a same block, another one a few years ago, it may be 20 to 30% definitely may be taking place, definitely have a land morphology will be changes. Subsequent transportation. Some of the parameter of the morphology of the beginning layer of the strata or the layer of the beds, they have changes. So when we had to go for, when you go for the village, your own having a land itself during a rainy season, please watch on your morphology of the boundary. So these two stages are major happened in regular in the same bed. The final depositions only, the landslides are occur. Now, those who are there frequently, their subjects knowledge or curiosity, or it may be your area will be taking place this kind of the physical events. So ultimately, one day if a heavy rainy or the area of the geology or area of the soils are weaker, definitely landslides are 100% that will be happen. See this kind of frequently the morphological changes of the landslide happened in the area. Look at the first figure. So the first figure strata of the layers now, this is downstream of the area. So one season, 1 year, you can state the past 1 year, 2 year, 3 years data. So how much of the centimeter, millimeter of this the surface of the soils are erosion? You can watch. We can measure. So those who are anybody supposed to want to do from the PhD or technical report, dissertation report, or it may be you are planning for your registration, doctorate degree as a disaster, or it may be you want to interest to do something, taking any project from the government, or it may be those who are the involvement of the subject. We can frequently watch the subsequent changes happens in the nature. That is also major problems happen. And based on that, the second stage, in the beginning stage, what may happen 1 year, second same bed, see the figure, the beds are compared to the previous one, the beds are 3 centimeter, 4 centimeter beds are collapsed. So due to there are so many a problem. So in that cases, so that is such stage, see the third stage of this bed and see the fourth stage of the bed. and see the last stage of the bed, maximum the morphology of the particular bed completely changes. Maximum mass, maximum up to this very high quantity of a rocks or landslide, or the sites are landslide. So in that cases, any demographical changes, any agriculture changes may happen, or anything, maybe the agriculture sector during the stages, any village sector, or it may be anywhere in this to the environmental, so much of losses also. So this is the events also they have taken serious. So according to this landslide, there are different types of the landslide there. Number one major types is called as RS. It means rotational slide landslide. So rotational types of landslide, it means, look at this figure. See one there, sometimes maybe you can see this newspaper, immediately one particular villages or anywhere, immediately they have soils are deprived. It may be found from a small hole or larger hole, or it may be small, a well type. It may be sudden depress from the soils are downward. So it may be rotational, means the area of the beginning, the layer of the structure, it may be weaker, sudden rupture of the soil, collapse in the beneath the bottom, and suddenly the type of slide happens in the nature. It means this type of the landslide occurred particularly hilly terrain area maximum. Because you can go for any, recently last one season of this, our Chamundi Hills, Mysore district also, we have a report, Chamundi Hills, from the left side of the Chamundi Hills, continuously the slide will be, the natural slide happens in this particular due to the rock mass or the soil mass sudden collapse, they have happened. So rotational sliders, it may be due to this gravitational force, the movement of the rock structure, they gone to any 10-degree, 20-degree angle of the boundary, sudden the collapse also possibility happens in the nature. That is called as a rotational landslides. Another one is the second type of landslide is called as translational landslides. So translational landslides occur maximum in the surface levels. So the last in the first COVID time in the Madikeri, maximum landslide happens only for the translational slides only, because the surface level, because one is the entire the vertical distribution of the land structure divided into 3 layers. One is the aerational layer, water table layer, and zone of saturation. Zone of aeration, water table zone, and zone of saturation zone. So from the beginning layer of the structure, maximum the soil porosity, the soil porous zone, porous means crack zone, fissure zone, joints are maximum in the beneath the layer. Definitely the original of the soils will be completely the changes and washed away and gone to the movement in the downstream. So this kind of this slides also happen based on the area of the morphology role is also most important. So sometimes the soil, because most of the area soil is the first layer, but some of the area soil with the geology together of the layers, very rare in the nature. So sometimes you can go for walking from the anywhere in the land itself. We have seen that the small pieces of the rock also, medium piece of the rock also, major rock types also there in the first layer. Sometimes may not be, sometimes second layer may be rock. First few meter thickness is the only pedology of the soil, whereas second layer, third layer, fourth layer is geology. Sometimes may be mixed together. So when they're in this kind of these rocks, any bedrock or the any steep zone, or it may be the rock weightage is more in the upper layer. So down second layer is a loose, immediately fall down. That is also we have seen from the nature. This type of landslide is called as rock fall landslides. So some of the area we can see if we go for the rock topplings landslides. So when head to hill stations, you can go to the Madhumala hills in this to go to Hrikote, Gundrulpete area, or the Nilgiri hills you can go there, Chamundi hills you can gaze there. So we watch the every stages of the rock structures. So I am going there one rock structure as it is same. I measure this length of the rock body around 20 meter thickness in the 2010. I'm going to 2011. Again, I measure the rock body. It may be rock body direction, angle, degree wise changes. It means definitely it may be mass movement happen. So definitely rock structure weightage may be happen. So as a Geological Survey of India scientists, are any disaster management scientists, they're going to assessing day by day, watch the futures, what happened to the particular rock mass, what is the area of the topographical changes, what is the terrain morphological changes, everything go for observation very frequently. They have a scientist. So this is the one of the landslide. The name is called as a rock toppling that will be happened at the peak of the mountain area, the peak of the elevation area, the peak of the rock structure above the particular pillars, above the structure of the strata that was there in the, it means the very weightage, rock mass weightage. There is no support from the beneath the bottom of the layer. Earlier we have some anthropological activity, mass movement activity, due to any tectonical activity, definitely the top of the movement of the structure will be definitely fall down. So it means some of the on the area of the boundary of this, the seismic waves or morphological waves or any geomorphological changes happen, then only this type of the landslides occur. So another one type of the landslide commonly in the village wise or the major city wise, that is the name of the landslide was called as lateral spreading landslides. So there are the two reasons for they have a confusion between the civil engineers. So from the civil engineers, suppose we have to go for this to the construction of the new pavement path of the road structure for the communication transportation of the vehicle. Now by this time, the construction of this road structure, the quantity of the mixing of the quantity may be tar or the cement or the sand or any pieces of rock should be ratio is most important. So when they have the construction of the boundary of the area, we can civil engineers should be asked to study the structure of the area of the layer of the soil condition. So every vehicle pass per hour, how much percentage of the vehicle was supposed to has to pass there? What is the mass structure? What is the density? What is the reaction mass there? So if a huge quantity of the vehicle supposed to has to pass on the road itself, so what is the how much of this pressure happens in the road itself? It may be any natural sliding, or it may be due to heavy flooding, or it may be any other possibilities there. So that all the considerations supposed to have to watch there, work there, then you can classify it. Yes, these landslides occur only for due to geographically or geologically. So then only can consider for this. This landslide was name is called as lateral spreading. It means the entire road was cracking. The entire body is submerged, or it may be up and down. The entire road is a major fracture zones happen. So beneath the bottom, we can go for the drilling up to the core lag sample. We can go the testing in the beneath the bottom of the soil also. Why this lateral sliding happen? So we can come there, call there from the NGRI scientists, drill the particular beneath the bottom of 10 feet and take the soil sample. We can identify what is the condition of the soil resistance, soil porosity, soil permeability, soil condition. Then only we call as, yes, this is the one kind of a landslide happen. So based on that, so the name was called as lateral sliding. Now another one is due to the heavy peak of the mountains. Last of the weathered fine particles, or it may be coarse particles, maximum particles travel from peak of the mountain. So they have come across saturated in the bottom. So most of the hill stations, you can go to our nearby Chamundi Hills here. During the rainy season, the rainy water is supposed to fall at the peak of the mountain area. So every stages of the rain, percolations, force of water fall in the peak of the boundary. If the peak with the rock mass, if the peak of the rock having a very fine grained texture, the rocks having a sedimentary, the rocks having a loose are there. So the fine particle of the soil, the fine particle of this force of the water particles fall on the reaction was fall in the peak mountain. Debris may be releasing, soil particles are releasing, the soil particles carrying by downwards, and certainly in the bottom. Now, during this journey of the rainy water, we called as a isoburgess, paleo channel. So these are all the beneath in the terminology is called as a hydrogeomorphic units. ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವೇನು ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ ಜಲಧಾರೆಗಳು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ಇಳಿಜಾರುಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಇಳಿಜಾರು ಅಂತ ನಾವು ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳ್ತೇವೆ. ಫ್ರಮ್ ದಿ ವಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಕಾಲ್ ಎಸ್ ಎ ಪೆಡಿಮೆಂಟ್ valley fields is the terminology of the Kannada Ilijaru. Now, from the peak of the mountain or any hill station, so the naturally waters are create a path, Ilijaru. So from the amount of water they carrying by the peak of the mountain or the peak of the hills, so every year stage by stage, so they have a changes in the morphology. They brought all the particles of the sand particle or rock particle. So year by year by the real resistance of the hill or the rock body may be weaker. One day the entire mass suddenly collapse possibilities also there. Based on that, the rock type's role is most important. So if a granite having a cracks, if a sedimentary area have any kind of sandstones, if it is there, easily percolation. If a metamorphic rocks, any gneissic rocks we have, if a partially or may not be partially, they have to fall down. Possibilities also there. Debris is also they found from the beneath the bottom. So after all these things, what are the causes of the landslides? So there are so many causes we have come across. Number one is called as a major one, natural factor causes of landslides. So when had to go for the natural causes of landslides, so particularly we need, so those who are in the subject of knowledge, those who are supposed to know the science of this causes of landslide, some few of this formula of the physics knowledge is most important. So particularly physics knowledge, gravity anomalies, it is the very biggest chapter from the physics. So when they have takings from this landslide, physics role also most important. What is the any wave propagation waves, any seismic waves are they gone there. For example, you know the Richter scale of the earthquake, no? Richter scale, they have a maximum magnitude happen. So 1.3, 3.4, 4.5, they have a scale, no? Measurement of the earthquake, no? So based on that, we have taken a consideration, then we can call as the earthquake, or it may be if a gravity is more than, definitely we have a landslide. So we have a come across to give a result given a public or the government. So therefore, the gravity of the rock, the gravity of the soil, the gravity of the environment, the gravity of the morphology rule also most important for the consideration of the causes of the landslides. Now, the most important another one is those who are there from the geological background, from the geographers knows, civil engineers knows, environmental scientists are knows, but rest of the scientists may not be studied from the particularly geology. So the geology role is the most important, and the resistance of the geology, and what is the porosity of the geology, and what are the factors are there, what is the kind of the name of the rock structure, everything should be as to study. That's the most important, because everywhere we have a lot of geology is there, but particular geology, how they origin, what is the shape and size of the geology, what is the role of the geology on the area, that all the things should be as to consider, then only we can go for the study for the causes of the landslide. And also most important from the meteorological parameter, rule is most important. What is the meaning of meteorological parameter? Is the heavy rainy, or the medium rainy, or the slow rainy, or it may be partially rain. So according to the meteorological department, regularly wherever the landslides are occur in the area, they have taken a data from the meteorological department. From the department given a lot of information about this on particular area due to rainy condition, landslide occur. There is no rainy, but landslide occur due to gravity, due to the geological problem. So then only we go for consideration about this, the landslide. So therefore, when you had to go for the study from the landslide, and what are the causes should be has to come, we are going to for the basic information supposed to have to rectify and noted and work in the field itself. Then we have to give the information about the landslide occur. So, and also sometimes landslide, earthquake together happen. What to do now? That's a major problem. See, when we had to focusing on landslide is okay. Sometimes in the landslide which this earthquake together happen is a major problem. The entire provinces of the boundary is the biggest problem in the causes of the landslide. So from this, another important thing is to volcanoes. So the volcanoes, sudden eruptions of the magmas or the lava from the beneath the bottom, when the eruption is taking place, lot of problem from the internal structure of the geology. So therefore, volcanoes, propagation of the tide waves also major important role for the considerations problem of the landslides. Now come to the causes of landslide in the factor number 2, anthropological activity is also most important. So today, there are so much of the perennial water systems we have, natural perennial river, perennial water. The perennial means all the season, waters are flow from the surface. It may be canal, channel, river, and any kind of water. Whereas non-perennial means only season-wise, waters are flow. So when the perennial water body continuously flow, running from the surface, so naturally the waters are percolation, infiltration reach the ground. Then the waters are available in the water table. Fine. So in that cases, if a geology soils are very good, there is no problem in the area. If a waters are dominated, soil rolls are less, geology is a medium, definitely sudden deployed, sudden collapse. Suddenly they have gone a different problem. So this kind of the surface runoff meet to the beneath the subsurface, in between this rock structure or the soil structure, definitely we have a big problem. Now, another important friend, they have a trees now from the maximum problem in the Coorg. They have a trees root system penetrated, gone to this 1 meter, 2 meter, 3 meter, 4 meter. If a one tree, how much percentage of this root system covered beneath the bottom? So the particular tree root system penetrate beneath, the root systems moving everywhere. They have a soils are removing, resistance are removing, geology will be changes, sudden collapse also possible happen. So this is the anthropological activity is also most important. Some of the combination factors, some of the combinations, it may be, so some of the combinations may be partially may be anthropological, partially may be geologically, partially may be meteorologically, partially human interaction also they have gone there and had a problem from the funding from the landslide. Now up to the causes of land, then we had to go to what are the effects and losses of due to the landslide. So when the landslides happens, particularly in India, lot of physical damages, completely the area will be darker, telecommunication, electricity, water supply, the roads are completely blocking. There is no communication between these two, any transportations problem. So immediately direct problem will be started. So indirect effects. So if indirect people are, they have landslides occur, so may not be reached immediately taken a precautionary, or it may be near to dam, near to tunneling, channels we have, then immediately happens in any landslides, maybe remote area. So larger problems happen, particularly in these places. That is the most important problems. Now, when there landslides with the flooding together, okay, so from the landslide and together, some of the valleys, it may be a landslide occur with waters are everywhere. So that water may not be going in any directions. The water may not be constructed any channel way, paveway, streamline. Immediately, the water may be entered to the nearby village, destruction of the entire agriculture activity, cropping styles, or any downward, they have a demography of the boundary. Immediately, that will be big problems. That also one of these major problems happened in this. Now, if you have a proper infrastructure, supposed to have a given navigations, information should be has to given in proper way, the culture way, or importance of the construction of any urbanization, or it may be, you can take care about this future planning of the anywhere in this landslides occur. So we have taken a civil engineer constructions, civil engineer ideas to avoid this kind of the problem in the futures. So what are the indicators of the landslides? So when the indicators of the landslide frequently during the rainy season from our agriculture in our area, or you want interesting curiosity during this, gone to this to by walk in the particular area, we can see the geomorphological terrain, morphological future, terrain morphological future, or terrain morphological future. What is the one season of the heavy rain? For example, normally from the farmers, even from our villages, anywhere in the villages, in the night time, supposed to has to rain is supposed to has to fall there. Immediately in the tomorrow morning, the farmer should be has to run there in the agriculture sector and see the what is the percentage of water was there. You take the water, you take a soil sample, smell it, and squeeze the soil. So how much soil, how much of the water with the soil, you know that I will start from the agriculture activity. If a soil with a water holding is less than, it may be require one more season of the water. So like that, he may be start from the practice of the know the terrain morphological future, and the same way, how much of the percentage of the soil will be erosion, how much of the percent will be, they have soils are, they have moved from, start from 0 degree, 1 degree, 3 degree, 4 degree. So number of degrees should be as to watch there, and which angle supposed to the soils are gone there, stay there, move there. What are the path of the movement? That will be, everything should be studied in the steep slope conditions. So by this time, we have a need a mathematical formula, mathematical calculation also. And also, some of these you had in your earlier, more than 70 years ago, 8 years ago, some of your fathers or it may be earlier people supposed to express this area having 20 years ago, the landslide happened, this will be morphological changes. We have a report say, and the same area, definitely another 20 or 30, maybe repetition possibilities there. If you're not taken any precautionary, definitely that will be repeated also. And also, whenever the landslides frequently happen in the roadside, immediately cracks are moving, cracks are noticed, and the fissure zones are happening, joints are knocking, major fracture noticed. Some of these, all these things, you might have seen from this newspaper or video, or it may be media also. People are without any information, some lands are major cracks, some lands are major fissure, fracture. It may be clue have maybe definitely beneath the bottom they have a little bit or major why the landslides occur, or it may be earthquakes. They have given a symptom also. So we done this ground truth check. We cannot immediately tell this kind of the landslide or earthquake. We are going to reporting, work in the fielding, conduct some kind of scientific method, and we had to give this to highlight to give the government and the local people supposed to have any information. That is also one of this. So when the landslides, they have maximum from the morphology is the downhard area. They are frequently, continuously, they happens during the rainy seasons. It's a common process. From the downstream people, they have a river, they have any settlements are there. You must take care about this during the rainy season. This would be risky information, and lot of trees with this, all the trees root system also digging beneath the bottom and remove the soil condition, remove the geological condition, then the easily percolation of water, then the soils are moving from the across. Definitely landslides, definitely they have to. How to minimize the landslides? Hazards mapping. Now today, we have a software we have, remote sensing satellite image we have. Before landslide, after landslide, we have the images are available. And also various geographical information system software we have. We can use the ArcGIS, MapInfo, and also remote sensing from the DoS. We can also take the data from this to before, after the landslide, how much the percentage of the landslides happen before the, what is this, the area of the square kilometer, after this landslide or anything disaster management. So what are these, the indicators will be loss up, how much of the percentage will be loss up, immediately within the 1 hour, we can do that. So we need a ground truth check data, and they go to the spot checking also. Based on the satellite image information also, we have to work there. So what is all this saying? In the next stage of the village, because these ex-villages have a major problem. Adjacent to village, in the next season, lands are definitely maybe collide, or maybe problems happen due to same geology, same environment, same geomorphology, same soil is there. One day definitely adjacent village also may be problem. So therefore, the quick responding, quick communication, quick information, quick scientific survey should be work in the very fast using the satellite data, using a software knowledge to avoid for the future of the landslide in the neighbor adjacent area. So that is the one possibility supposed to be had to go there. So therefore, by this time, the forest department and the urban development authority, water department also, and the drainage systems from this rural drainage system role also most important. So another one important today, you can go to the village wise drainage system was there. You till in this the same water supposed to has to come, no pipeline, no drainage system, everything should be has to go for underground only. So if you underground when you have to go to the water should be geology, soil, everything is loose. Definitely we have a major problem. So therefore, when had to do the drainage system, the civil engineer should be as a role is most important. And also the surface runoff, it may be water department also most important role. And the forest department scientists also most important from the active participants to control the from the landslides area. They have to do the proper message, proper information. Then you have to go for this. Now look at these figures. So see the top layer of the figures. We don't know what is the beneath the bottom of the layer of the soil. We don't know what kind of soil is there. So everyone, we are not studying the proper way in the types of soil. What is the role of the soil? What is the composition? We don't know. Because we want to go there to work in the area of the landslide, we can take a random sample of the analysis and what is the quantity, soil, percentage, soil, composition, everything should be has to work in the first stage. And what is the meter of the beneath the bottom of the what kind of soils are there, we don't know. So be it you can drilling a sample and brought the sample in the laboratory and finding the what is the bottom of the soil condition, whether the suitable construction of the dam, suitable construction of any reservoir, any water pounding, or any water tanking, or it may be any good structure of this very good office. So everything should be has to go for the work in the proper way. Then you can recommend it for this. This area is the suitable for the dam or the reservoir and anything else communication or tunneling. Most of this, most important for the tunneling also, that is suitable or not, that all these things should be has to go for the taking consideration from the civil engineer or engineering properties, the construction of anything else required, the structurally controlled, what kind of supposed to have to build there, everything should be has to go there in the proper way. That is the most important. Now, after taking it, you can go for remedial measure also most important. Because you can give the example in these Chamandi Hills or wherever you can anywhere in any places. Anywhere supposed we have to go there from the landslide happen. Now I will come in the Joshimata in the last stage. Joshimata, we have a big problem. I will tell you later. Now remedial measures should be has to go there. Frequently, the government of India scientists, particularly disaster management scientists, they watch every geomorphology of the boundary. Now we have a map. Now we have a map. The map is so much of information they are given by navigation, information, mineralogy, or it may be from the population, or it may be any land use, land cover, settlement information, population information, agriculture information, everything is given by the ordinary map. But in the same way, from the disaster management scientists, they brought from entire India, wherever the landslides are occurred, how much percentage will be losses, what are the implications will be faster, what are the causes would be as to going away, and what is the area of the really the plate tectonics. Plates are moving. Our boundary of the plates, continents are moving. During the continents are moving, any continent plates are together, meet together, the crushing happened, immediately shocking. From the shocking of wave propagation waves, we have get earthquakes. Or maybe if earthquakes happen, immediately the soil condition, geological condition are very weaker, immediately it will be major collapse happens. So these are all the very interesting because this message should be asked to discuss with your colleague, or it may be randomly you can discuss with your student, or those who are interested in the subject of open availability, please share this information and will be interesting from the society also. Now, when the remedial measures, it may be examining is most important. Wherever regularly this kind of the problems are happened, we are frequently gone to the places and construct some of the retaining walls and barrier walls across any construction of the slope area from the reinforced construction, rock fixing, and control of all the erosion activity should be taken. At least to 20 to 30% of the landslide will be definitely will be stopped. So that will be very risk management. The government should be asked to come there, across there, see the situation submitted by the report of scientists. Based on that, we are going to do this. Look at the figures. So if you have a road now from the surface level, continuously the sloping happened. The sloping condition definitely gone there concern, and it will be collapsed. And frequently they have every year they have the landslide occur. See, the government should be asked to waste of money. So in that is a frequently permanent solution should be they have come across. Regularly the landslides happen, that particularly we had to go to retaining concrete permanent wall. It may be too much expensive. It may be fixing a iron rod, too much of rock pieces supposed to have to go across the build up the particular soil structure. Then we can at least to avoid this one. And also they had to inform to this to very hard vehicles. It may be very high, heavy vehicles should not be pass in this road, because of this area of the soils are very only limited. Some of the notice board also we can fix this. Heavy traffic vehicle, heavy huge vehicle should not be. Any communication vehicle should not be. Only little bit vehicle or four-wheelers that should be has to give there at least to avoid this. Look at this, another way in the path of this, because of the when had to any rainy water supposed to fall in this area, then the water supposed to come across. We called as a debris. They have ordinary rock pieces come across. They have a melee wall to avoid this the problem of moving of any other debris that will be filled there. Then you can avoid this the land structures moving in the downstream. That is also one. So another look at these figures now. They have a wire mesh, iron mesh now. We have a wire mesh to stop them moving any debris in the fall on the river or the pond or the stream, to avoid any incrustations problem on the boundary. That is also one we can gabin wall, we call as a gabin wall in the geological term. Now see, complete this, you have any from the compound of the bigger one, the sliding happens due to the landslide. Concrete pile permanent, that is also one we have. From the, you have a land having a soils or erosion, we called as a check bund. I think maybe you can go Karighatta from Sringapatna. Sringapatna, Karighatta, we have a lot of changes in the soil erosions. So they have a in-between step by at least 3 meters, once in 3 meters. Your land also, your lands are sloping, higher to down sloping is there. Such kind of curvature structure should be as to employ in build due to the anywhere in the deep-rooted plants in between the 2 meter, 3 meter, if it is possible to avoid the erosions possibilities. That is also recent concept. So this concept should be in Mizoram, Manipura, Nagaland area. Even now, the local people, they have adopted this kind of the agriculture activity. See the beneath the bottom of the figure also. If a continuously flow of rainy water supposed to has to pass on this area to avoid the rainy water in percolation in the land itself, to avoid the surfological morphological changes, that is also one possibility of it. Now, subsurface drainage. So whenever the heavy rain is supposed to has to fall at the peak of the mountains, the waters are percolation, infiltration gone to the beneath the bottom. They have an insert. They have it because normally you have drilling a borewell in the vertically. So the hydrogeologist, the drilling a borewell from the horizontal way. So when they had the horizontal way, fix the pipe from the on the wall. In the seepage, any water supposed to fall, the waters are seepage. We fix the horizontally. The water should be has to gone through the pipeline to avoid the incrustation. Avoid the water should be has to gone to the percolation, infiltration, reach the goal. Avoid this any possibility from the erosions activities. So this is also we are going to the encouragement recommended by the disaster management cell. So therefore, if you have this kind of the problems, we are all are the at least to the subject should be randomly communicated by language. If people about this Kannada, English, Tamil, Malayalam, Hindi, so our duty should be as to create the awareness programs. Most important, friend. You have any teachers, degree college teachers, PG college teachers, every district's office, we have a disaster management cell. We have. Please go to the district collector office. The district collector office, we have an office, disaster management cell. Every year, they have given so much of amount of central government. The officer should be asked to utilize the money some other purposes. So through the college, through the education, you can write the letter to the concerned authority. We need of a one-day workshop, one-day seminar, or create the awareness program to the about the disaster management. I am given a landslide. Tomorrow I'm giving you some other aspects. Overall, this landslide, during the landslide, people how to do these activities in the area. What are the steps supposed you have to take on? How do they have to take a measuring step? Everything should be as the given in government of India. So after getting a knowledge about this VRR, share the knowledge to the our public, share the knowledge our family members, and also overall our community of this village boundary, community of the entire bed of the area. Then this message should be financially, everything should be as given by government. Or it may be any problem. If a land sale regularly happen in the area, or it may be land having so much of, they have a symptoms, maybe the erosion activity, we can give to road to the your honorable, particularly district collector. We can address the letter to this. Our areas, this kind of the problems are we are seeing there. So please come to do the survey. It is any problems are there or not. So that will be freely they will come there to do the activities. And also from the in the degree college, PG college teachers. So we have a software, GA softwares. So now every scientist, they're going to use this software to do the all kind of disaster management maps. We call it as a thematic map. So you want to any maps you want to request land use, land cover map, agriculture map, population map, any kind of naturally required the map, we can also draw using by a GA software. Based on the GA software, we can also create the hazards zones map. It may be naturally the disaster happened. What are the natural hazards maps or losses? What are the natural resource management will be losses? What is the percent will be losses, particularly previous of the year? So what kind of we have taken the precautionary that all the information given by, see, this software is the most important. So after landslide happens, we have to take care about this, the precautionary safety measures. So before landslide, we don't know the landslides occur. Okay, so before the landslides, when the previous year's landslides occur, the government should be asked to give an information. This area is the landslide prone area. They declare. So the landslide area of the boundary, they declare based on this work. So from the government, they are fixing a warning signal from the door to door. And we had to tell to the every person, don't construct any type of in the house here. Don't do any activity here. Particularly these zones are continuously in the now or tomorrow or any other time. Definitely we have a landslide occur due to this following reason. So therefore, so that message should be as to given to the public, to the government. So therefore, when the government should not to give any direction to the public after this, the problems are happened. Really, there is a major problem in the happen. Therefore, so before they take care of the consideration of the government given the information, so accordingly we have to do the kind of. Now we have a government should be asked to initiate landslide signals, some sound. So now factories, engineering college, every hours they have a bell now. If a landslide before start this any few minutes or 10 minutes, they fix the propagation, some kind of seismometer. Based on that, we have given a signals with a widely, then the people are run away. They have to take care about this is personal health. So that is the technology also given by NGRI Hyderabad. They have to insert the instrument. They already inserted in Mercury also. They already inserted in now in Joshi. For the last few days, we have seen that all the information they have already the process. The process is going on. Now, after all these things, when the landslide happened, you can give these two information to the telephone, radio, television, or any print media about this, take care about the present and future information. So then only to avoid at least to some rural area particular. And if a landslide happen, so emergency declare. So people are supposed to, they have run away, they have gone to some other places. So you had to help to this to poor family member, old age family member. So if you go to Markeri, one house in other area, one said, if anything, we cannot go there, they protect, they prevent the particular person. So first they think I should be safe, then only second. So if you have a safe, you have to require the assistance, anything else, if you save someone, you have to do this to emergency work and help to someone to save the life, then only have to this. Now, when there the GSI map from the Geological Survey of India, they're going to conduct this particularly frequently wherever the landslides continuously occur. They have drawn this map. Now you can see the any topology map. Their red line was there, contour line, no, red line, blue line, green line, everything is there. So wherever red line was there, the red line is a drought prone areas. Drought prone area, that area is a no water. If a heavy rain is supposed to fall there, water was never gone to the infiltrated region because hard rock terrain. So these are all we have research. On the same area now, in the government of India, they draw the disaster management wherever happened, they draw the line of double line of the red line now, single line the drought of the water. If the double line, now with this area may be drought prone about the any kind of disaster management happened in the present and future. So that is the map also we have seen there in the recent information given by GSI. So based on that, we have predictions, fix this this kind of instrument, and we will be connected from the TV media and television media, and the sirens supposed immediately they come out and then they can go on to the good place. This is the message we have. Now, after landslides happened, curiosity supposed to want to go there to after landslide happened. Now public TV, media, print media, they gone there, capture all the images and relate to the all the TV media. Then we can see this all the more than 11 or 9 types of landslide definitely they have happens in this natures. Anyone this kind. So based on this history we have. So this kind of landslide happened. Every landslide they have internally, they have a history. They have some kind of work. So after that, so we had to care about this causes of landslide is the most important. That's the only deep study from the causes should be has to taken. And so sometimes maybe together with the earthquakes, landslide together with the earthquake really is a major problem. Lot of property will be losses, lot of environmental issues also there, lot of crisis will be happen. And another one, earthquakes, volcanoes and disaster together, there are unbelievable the problems in the happens in this nature. So in the now recent the maximum landslides happened in the Strat 6 now. They are small little or the major, I'm not bothered about this. Now they recorded from the Geological Survey of India. They're given information about the website. The major landslides in July 1991 in Assam. So more than 300 people were missing. Completely entire the boundary of the lithology of the morphology of the village will be completely washed down. In 1993, Nagaland, more than 500 people are collapsed, missing. And August in the 18th, 1988, in Malpa, more than 200 people also they killed. So when they, this kind of this images, buildings, or anywhere supposed to have to go for the constructions nearby sloper area, should not be constructed any type of terrain structures. So one day definitely will be fall down. Now, after all these steps should be has to taken, the most important step, there are two kinds. One is the pre-disaster studies. So before the disasters, what is my duties? So concerned government, what is the role of the duties? After the post-doctors, what is the supposed to be had to pending? That is the most important. So pre-disaster studies, for example, already disaster, they have given information about the GSI people, or it may be NRSA people, ISRO people already declared. So this area, Already this kind of disaster happened. Maybe in future, maybe extended also. So the concerned scientist supposed to have to gone there to work there, the pre-disaster studies in the area. Now, earlier, what kind of percent supposed already happened? What is the percentage of the losses? Whether we are going to use the scale of 1:50,000 scale or 1:250,000 scale, we had to go there. So to work there. And after all these things, what are the information supposed to we have to brought there? So we can, n number of research work supposed to have and pre-registered and post-registered, what is the pending we have, that should be has to take care about this. Pre and post together, team should be has to sit together in the desk studies and come in the picture and give a very good information. That's the one. Now, after disaster happened, our Indian Navy system, force system, army system, immediately they have come there and give the all hospitality work. What are the requirement in the first aid, healthy wise, camp wise. So that is this made by our government of India. They have taken. So maximum the earthquakes or the landslides happens, maximum disasters, unbelievable the percentage of resource, or it may be the life of the human beings, maybe definitely has a big problem. So when the landslide occurs, should not be taken the selfie, should not be focused on this anything others, should not be do any other robbery, or it may be misbehaving from this to poorest fellow. So at least we have to help to the public to share our help to the someone to protect the life of his, definitely we have. So this all recent photographs I'm taking from this to a Madikeri zone from the recent landslides happened. And this is another one, Madikeri, major landslides in the vertical wise. They have come there, the major agriculture, demography, see the demography of all the settlements also, they have a big problem. So then the landslide immediately ash related, debris related happens in the nature. So atmosphere entry dust particles, that is also one of these problem. Now communications and electrical also major problem. So after all these things, now in the landslides, I am talking only for the 5 to 10% because of this in 1 hour. But in this, when is in the subject in consent from our research scholars and the students, those who are there in the field of the particular area, they have given a lot of the information we had to share there. Now, I hope you that at least you have some information, maybe you have got it in this then within the stipulated maybe 45 minutes, because already they have given a signal from this authority. So time is up. So you want anything else, please ask me friendly. Without any agitate, any languages, please ask me some information, questions from your, we'll discuss now. Can you audible my voice?
Yes, sir.
Sir, it's audible, sir.
Please. So no problem now, because it's very difficult to sit in hours, because I know, because I also coming in the same line. So I asked this the concerned officer, don't give this in the fourth time, because this after the food, most of them sleeping. So I was asking about morning section because they give on this stipulated time. So tomorrow also I'm coming in the same time. I will discuss some other aspects. So I need some questions from your sides, please.
Excuse me, sir. I'm Sudhakar from Tumkur, sir.
Very good. Please tell me, sir.
Sir, with the high pressure of on the land, maybe the landslide take place, sir.
Yes, sir. Definitely, right? Sir. If we have on the area of the landline beneath the bottom is a very strong of the lithology, it is no problem. If a first layer, no.
Yes.
If the first layer is a very strong, second layer is also strong. In the few of 70 meters thickness of the profile of the geology, which soil is a very strong, there is no problem. If a soil is a loose, if a soil was loose, definitely is a major problems. So therefore, the urban development authority watch every year of the soil, the road. The road is earlier is a straight. Okay, sir. If a road was curvature was started, it means inclination was started. It means definitely this area may be definitely one day may be deployed, or it may be fall down. So if a fall down means on the area of the geology, soil role is completely weaker. That will be happen. Definitely.
Sir, in metropolitan cities, sir, there are
Yes, sir.
big buildings and flats and those, sir, it will affect in future.
Thank you, sir.
Sir, definitely, because now people are they against to this environment, sir. So the people are never had to think about the environment. So now, sir, we are going to construct the house in the Muda authority or any private authority. The outside the layout is a very good, everything, road, infrastructure, everything. People are after the purchasing of the land, they construct this building, no? They construct digging of no. Then if you are digging a soil is not good for the constructions.
Yes, sir, definitely, sir.
So the pedology is nothing but a study of soil role. Soil test is most important. So by this time, when the before the layout, those who are they have initiated the layout, they have taken a report from the geologist, environmental geologist, civil engineers. They are there. If you pay the money, they give a certificate. Very good. But scientifically, when you have to do any kind of building structure, any apartment, we should be has to that beneath the bottom soil is suitability is most important. Definitely, we soil test is very good, no problem. So NGRI, they have an initiated step from the apartment. See, apartment now, so today is a very good now, 12 floor, 13 floor, 14 floor.
44, yes, sir, yes, sir.
Yes, sir. How many years the apartments are there in the nature now? Another 20 years, 30 years, definitely they have problem. One. So people are today given a from the business. Most
Money making,
important
sir, money
business.
making, money making.
They have never given an idea about the environmental problems. So it will be against to the violation. But government should not take any steps. Government should be taken steps. Government should be given no encouragement last no from the Bangalore no. So much of the rainy water enters, so much of problems no. Encroach of the road, encroach of the river, encroach of the main drainage system. Now the government, Supreme Court order has to demolish the building. People are not interested, demolish the protected. So the rainy path, rainy flow, rainy drains no encroached by government and also politicians fellow against to the system. Problems are there. So ನಾವೆಲ್ಲ ratified ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ಸರ್. ನಾವೆಲ್ಲ ಈಗ ಏನಾಗಿದೆ ಯಾವುದೇ ಮನೆ ತಗೋಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಬಿಲ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ತಗೋಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು ಪರ್ಚೇಸ್ ಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ತಗೋಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಆ ಏರಿಯಾದಲ್ಲಿ ವಾಟರ್ ಸಿಗುತ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ವಾ ಅಂತ ನಾವು ನೋಡ್ಬೇಕು. ದ ಸಾಯಿಲ್ ಇಸ್ ಸೂಟೇಬಲ್ ಫಾರ್ ಕ್ರಾಪ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನೋದು ನೋಡ್ಬೇಕು. ದ ಸಾಯಿಲ್ ಇಸ್ ಫಾರ್ ದಿ ಸೂಟೇಬಲ್ ಫಾರ್ ಎನಿ ಟೈಮ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ದಿ ಫ್ಯೂಚರ್ ಅನ್ನು ನೋಡ್ಬೇಕು. ದ ಏರಿಯಾ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಸೂಟೇಬಲ್ ಎನಿ ಟೆಕ್ನಾನಿಕಲಿ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ಸ್ ಅದನ್ನ ನೋಡ್ಬೇಕು. ಅವೆಲ್ಲ ನೋಡ್ದೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೋ ಏನು ಕಮ್ಮಿ ಸಿಕ್ತೋ ಅನ್ನೋ ತಗೊಂಡ್ಬಿಟ್ರೆ ಕೆಲವು ಸಾಯಿಲ್ ಇಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಸೂಟೇಬಲ್ ದಿ ಕ್ರಾಪ್ಸ್. We have a reports, we have a information which soils are suitable crop, which soils are not suitable crops. See, agriculture scientists supposed to have given all the random information, analysis, testing, everything is there now, sir. We have to do. Okay. Anything else, sir, please? Anything else?
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Tomorrow
We'll
we'll meet
comment.
you same time,
Okay, sir.
same hours. See you, sir. Thank you very much. Bye.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
We'll see you tomorrow, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Yes, take care.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
So thank you very much, sir.
See you, sir, tomorrow.
ಅಲ್ಲ ಯಾರು ನೋಡ್ರ ಮಾಡ್ಲಾರ ನೋಡ್ರಪ್ಪ ಅಂದೆ ಪಕ್ಷ ಅದು ಮೋಸ